era. So let's go in the bonus. What does this team look like now? They won a playoff series against the Rockets, as you know, this past spring. Primary starting lineup is LeBron James, Marcus Smart, Rui Hachimura, Luke Kennard, and DeAndre Ayton. This is obviously before Reeves returned. So all of those players, they're all now gone. They were all in the top 5 on the Lakers in total minutes last postseason, which makes the Lakers the first team to have none of their top 5 players in minutes played from the previous postseason return to the team for the following year. That's since minutes were first tracked in the early 1950s, which means so many new faces coming to Los Angeles. Walker Kessler, Quentin Grimes, Sandro Mamukelashvili. How do we say that, Dave? Mamukelashvili. We all have to practice that. But what are we going to call him, Dave? Mamu. And their first-round draft pick from this year's draft, Cameron Carr. Really a sea change. And I'm wondering, Dave, how the linchpin of this whole thing, how Luka feels about all his new teammates.
Yeah, I checked in with someone close to Luka who told me, in a word, he's excited about the moves that they made. Now recognizes that there's a lot of work ahead of them, but feels like this is going to give the requisite kind of wind behind his own sails to march towards the championship. He needs to step into a further leadership role with this team. Obviously, he was already occupying it, leading the league in scoring last year, had the unfortunate hamstring injury, was not able to see that group through. But his fingerprints are all over this roster. And I'm not saying that Luka told Rob Pelinka specifically every one of these names, but certainly there's an endorsement of Quentin Grimes, a former teammate of his in Dallas. Walker Kessler, get me an A-list center. Here's your A-list center, 7'2", one of the best rim protectors and a guy who can roll towards rim, play offense with Luka. He wanted to play with Austin Reeves. He's back, and Mamu, I think, is a guy that they kind of discovered in Toronto that can give them more. Now, one guy I want to mention, though, is Kevon Looney, and that was another backup that they added that, they needed a backup center, right? Mm-hmm. He had some opportunities around the league. I spoke to someone close to him today who said that he saw it as a clear opportunity. He saw a parallel between some of the half-court sets that they're going to run, the way he can free up Luka and AR, the same way he freed up Clay and Steph with screens, multi-time champion. And then let's talk off the court. He's a UCLA guy. He spends his offseason in LA.
Right.
He's getting married this weekend.
Oh, congrats.
To his bride, who is also a hooper at Cal State Northridge.
Oh, whoa. So
it's a happy time for the Looney family.
Okay, that's great.
I've spent some time around Kevon. He's a good guy to have among this group as a veteran leader as well.
Shanae, what about the defense?
Well, I think
if you're looking at your two pillars of your team,
look,
not known for their defense
is a conversation for another day, because I think that's going to be a collective group effort on behalf of the Los Angeles Lakers. I want to go back, though, to the post players, because the one prerequisite for Luka Doncic's success, outside of what he does by himself, 30 points per game, is the need for a great center and having lobs. And this is the potential here, because Luka Doncic on lobs assists the most in the NBA, first in that category. And Walker Kessler actually was 5th in field goals made via lob. So he is a lob threat. But again, Hannah, I will give a nod to defense, because defensively, he actually over his career averages 2.5 blocks per game, which is solid. And then offensively, he shoots 68% in his career. So when we think about those Dallas days where Luka was sensational, taking them to NBA Finals, being in the MVP conversation, it all hinged upon the centerpiece literally being a lob threat. Now, they have some ways to go, because Dallas had a battalion of them, and they did work on both ends of the floor. But at least Luka can be a little bit happier that he did get a center, a top-tier center, potentially with good chemistry that he co-signed.
And Luka, the way he has that downshift in gear and be able to work the half-court offense, and if he can get the help defender just take one step towards him, that leaves a 7'2" guy by the rim.
True.
He can obviously thread the needle with that.
Are they done making moves?
There's one empty roster spot remaining, and sometimes a team will have 14 guys on their roster, and it's like, we're going to keep that spot open to give us some optionality towards the trade deadline. We could do for 2-for-1 deal, or we could pick up someone from the buyout market. Mm-hmm. That's not the case with the Lakers. They view this final spot as a very important piece to their potential puzzle. One guy they're speaking to, Anthony Slater, been all over it, Anthony Slater, Jonathan Kuminga. And right now he's without a team. Now, Atlanta, turned down their team option of $24 million for him this year. The Lakers currently don't have anywhere close to that to offer them. They would have to do some maneuvering, perhaps doing another trade, use those 2 second-round picks that they got from Washington in the Ayton deal to maybe attach someone like a Dalton Connect or Jared Vanderbilt to a trade to free up some cap space to give him a better offer than the veteran minimum. But certainly they're trying to pitch opportunity. You will come here, you'll play on the biggest stage in basketball, and you may have to take a pay cut for a year or two, but you can get back into the big dollars. Malik Monk did that years ago for the Lakers. He's made close to $100 million in NBA contracts with the Sacramento Kings since.
Wendy, how do you like this team as it's currently constituted in light of the rest of the West?
The two things they had to do going to the offseason, Hannah, they had to keep Austin Reeves. They did that. They had to get a starting frontline center that matched with Luka Doncic. They did that. Both were expensive, but they got those done. Those were the big strokes. You really also need Luka Doncic to be healthy and in good condition. If those three things are all in place, I think the Lakers are going to be a formidable team next year. That said, I do think that they're going to have defensive issues. I don't think that they got better defensively on the perimeter. And listen, Kuminga could be a really good fit for them. We've seen things go both ways. We've seen Malik Monk come in, as Dave said, and really thrive and end up, rebounding his career. We saw DeAndre Ayton come in, who had been abandoned by several teams coming in, and that was not a good fit. So, it could go either way there. But when you're the Los Angeles Lakers, you get people to give you opportunities like that. So, getting another key player, potentially a starter, would definitely help.
I'm going to practice Mamu Kelishvili. No doubt they would love to play together on the course and on the court. Senior insider Shams Charania joins us now. So, we're trying to read all these tea leaves, obviously. But as far as you know, what is the latest with LeBron?
And LeBron James, Rich Paul, they're continuing to sift through the leading contenders, the different options, the different teams that have been pitching Rich Paul over the last week since LeBron James informed the Lakers that he's going to be moving on elsewhere. That includes Golden State, Cleveland, Miami, Philadelphia, Minnesota. What we do know, though, is LeBron James wants to be in a competitive, competing environment. He wants to play meaningful basketball, I'm told. But as far as the timeline, there is no timetable. LeBron James does not appear to be in a rush. The last couple weeks has been a lot of family, friends, and golf for LeBron James. Over the last couple weeks, he spent time in the Ohio area, in Akron. He spent time with his close friends and family. That includes Brandon Weems, his close friend, longtime childhood friend, who is now a leading executive with the Cleveland Cavaliers under President of Basketball Operations, Kobe Altman. And so the golf, the family and friends time, that's continuing this week. Another friend he's going to be spending some time with, my understanding, is Draymond Green. Draymond Green also is a free agent right now. Remember, he declined his $27.7 million player option to try to give the Warriors increased flexibility to go after LeBron James as a free agent, potentially bring in another co-star like an Anthony Davis as well. We'll see what happens with those pursuits over the coming few days and weeks.
He's got a lot of friends. I'll give him that. So we'll see if any of that means anything when it comes to his latest decision. Shams, thank you so much. So we have LeBron at age 41, putting up significant numbers last season. One of just 4 players to average 25 and 5 on 50% shooting, joining Giannis, Nikola Jokic, and Alperen Şengün. His agent, Rich Paul, and Max Kellerman, his co-host, had Bob Myers, who's president of the Sixers ownership group, on their Game Over podcast.